Hello, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here, and I've been having very weird technical difficulties, and Chad has been trying to help me out with black ice, and I don't know what was wrong. So I will work on that some other time. The splash screens were showing up, but the game wasn't. I may post that video just as like, what the hell's going on? Maybe somebody can figure it out for me. But we're going to take a look at Endsieg Ultimate Victory. I've been warned that this may not be the mod for me, so we will see. I have literally not played this before, but here we go. And I'm going to continue, of course. Okay, gentlemen. Do we start in a 1936? Start sort of like standard Hearts of Iron? I'm not really willing to start, you know, with the war sort of already lost or something. I don't know, do we want to try to replay World War I? Harry, who was feverishly typing, but not. Is it great? 43. Now, the war's lost by 43. And, okay, 1910, Drunken Barbarian saying, that's, I'm thinking, I guess right now, well, I guess, I don't know if 1918 is a good start date, but my thoughts either 1910, 1914, or 1936. Those are sort of the main choices. It's a classic mod and it's good fun to mess around with, but I think you will have a number of weird things that can happen. Me and Brett did a game a year or so back, and some of the focus and events didn't follow through. But a little bit broken. Well, okay, well, since Drunken Barbarian has said 1910, we'll take a look at that. Okay, so yes, we're going to play as the German Empire. Welcome to the mod 1910. Welcome, my friend. How's your day going? Not so well so far, but maybe this will improve it. You have chosen the 1910 scenario, and it is the calm before the storm. Have fun. If you find any bugs, make sure you're okay. Let's get this show on the road. The Dervish state declared war on the United Kingdom. I think that is down here. The Whirling Dervishes, wherever that might be. Okay, game tweaks. Endsieg offers that. Currently you can pick from scripted peace deals, improve the game speed and difficulty, select or change your decisions. Bring the menu up, click. Well, I don't think I want to disable scripted peace deals. I don't know enhanced game speed is needed. You should probably see that is more bad AI, but the Dervish state won't die. Game tweak options. Okay. These options are for the weak-minded. Or exhaust. Might want to get rid of this. Yeah, about where. So the balance reason we stand by that point. The prominent component of player's choice. All nations in Germany's fact. Yeah. No one, I'm tired enough of. Everyone, no one out, all nations in Germany's fact, then no one else, I'm tired enough as it is. We'll get rid of that, I guess. Next page again. Set World War II ideas and ideologies. Let's see what this is. Oh, no, we didn't want to do that. Okay, no. Okay, so we need to restart this. Let's go exit to menu. Yes, okay. Quit. Okay, that was a mistake. Because we're not playing Kaiser Reich with Nazi stuff. Right, okay. Next page. Okay, we'll just do the war, no one else. Okay, we're done. All right. Let's look at the national focus. It's diplomatic effort, political power, political effort, political power, power to the Kaiser, power to the military, home by Christmas, army effort, create an air force, a little early for an air force, industrial effort. We like industrial efforts, Anglo-German naval race, which is what was going on then. Okay, alternative diplomacy, Middle Africa plan, befriend Turkey. Equipment effort, research bonuses, trench warfare. Well, since we have presumably approximately 4 years until the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, we will do that. Okay, now let's look at our technologies. Okay, well, we have some. So we have Maxim machine guns, I guess, is what. Interesting, they're using the Russian 1910 model here and the MG08 model over here. Don't know how they get that in the thing, but okay. Just graphical, I know it's not real determinative. Well, let's come over here because everyone knows. Okay, early machine tools. We like machine tools, construction. Oh, it's ahead. That's a lot ahead of time. 2 years, 2 years. So that's way ahead of time. I get the trench warfare being ahead of time, but what? Okay. Automatic feed tabulator, basically a calculator of some sort. One thing I don't like about the tech modern is the demobilization, which hurts your progress. Okay, we'll do this. We always wanted to, we're going to speed up anything early on. It's going to be research speed. Okay, so we have powered flight. Well, we have some early Fokkers and some tactical bombers already in existence. Fleet and being indirect. Now these are mutually exclusive. We're going to look at, well, I guess, trade, interdict, intervention, submarine surface detection. Now, I think Germany was more of a fleet and being nation, but ended up doing the submarine thing. So let's start down that path. I think we have slots for that. This way. Okay. Loading by task. Needing by order. Organization. Recovery rate. Okay, I like organization better than recovery rate, I think. So we've got a ways before we get to tanks. Okay, early modern, early tank. Interesting. Well, 2 years, 2 years. It's almost a year. Probably be better to wait. We've got that. Let's get this going, and well, those are 1932, so no. These are all researched. Protected cruiser, which basically eventually becomes heavy cruisers for most. Yeah, well, obviously Drunken Barbarian mod developers are just coming up with images here, but you do see this. It says early machine tools. Now, I would argue Germany had machine tools at this time, but say Afghanistan doesn't. It just is a, or and being able to produce them themselves. Where so I would say in 1910, a nation like Chile, Bolivia, Peru, probably Argentina, and probably Argentina and Brazil couldn't build early machine tools themselves from scratch. They could import them, but they couldn't build them. That's my estimation from various documentaries that I've watched and whatnot. Where the United States, Britain, Germany, France, Belgium, Italy, and Austria, they could build the machine tools. So this is something I would have all the majors start with, because early machine tools would be the things making Mauser rifles in 1880. 1888. So that's a little, yeah, okay. So that the graphic is one thing, and that's why I'm not jumping up and down about like, oh, what, you go from 1910, SDKFZ 221s. No, of course not. They just mean some early primitive vehicles, and they've thrown in a German thing. So yeah, weapons are important. One thing you remember about World War One, it's very much like real life, completely stalemate. That's fine. You would probably want a number of artillery. Yes, this mod has been around since you got released or some crazy early. So a lot of these things are just here to stay. Right. Okay. Artillery. Well, 1912. See, I think if I were waiting a year to start producing this, to start researching this, will be faster. So I'm looking for things that won't take more than a year to research, that I can just put into production. And so I'm a big advocate, sort of like going off of what Drunken Barbarian was saying, for the idea that some of these type of things that should already be started for, probably improve. I would probably go with Germany and Britain and a few other nations with improved machine tools. Maybe early, Russia, I don't know. Japan, start with some of these, and that just keeps a lot of the miners from just even sort of having anything. Okay. Okay, we're really well ahead there. Okay, infantry doctrine, we're doing that. Man, I need just one more tech here that is Victorian era experimental submarines. How long to get that? 500 days. Yeah, no. Well, I guess some researching. I guess we'll do MPs. That will fill that. Okay, now. Well, let's look at our current. Do we not have any equipment here? I guess we have some equipment, but it's just all. Okay. Production. Basic infantry weapons. Well, we've got 42, so let's start that, and I will take Ares. Rations. Do we need to produce rations? How interesting. Okay. Don't know if we need to do bicycles. Yeah, I guess that's the 4 things that we need to do for ground. So let's up the artillery, up this, and well, if we produce a lot of rations, I presume they will be savable. Okay, Kingdom of Portugal, United States of America, Russian Empire. Who are we not going to go to war with? Sweden. That sounds good. We're not going to go to war with Sweden. Uh-oh. Toyjet be mad. Construction. First thing you want to do is cut off Poland and encircle the Russians, right? Okay, so that'll get our dockyards. Well, as we have improved submarines, since we know the future, we'll start building improved submarines. No divisions in basic training. Well, we have no equipment really, so I don't want to do that. Let's speed this up a lot. The Dervishers' War. Insufficient resources. What do we need? We need more grain. Okay, so they do really sort of looking at having food in this. They might have put more grain into Dominion of Canada, but no. I'm going to live with a -1 grain, I think. Maybe we will come down to that and do another support equipment. Okay, industrial effort, that is good. Infrastructure, dockyard construction, airfield construction, Anglo-German naval race, purpose expansion, rebuilding the Navy, create an air force. I think maybe we wait on that. Okay, so we have free civilian factories, which is nice. You know, let's build a couple of more civilian factories. See if we can find a well-developed. There maybe. And down here. Okay, get a couple of those coming. All right.
Zuhören. Ausrücken. 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 Ausrücken.
Well. Albanian revolt. Okay. The Albanians don't want to stay parts of the Ottoman Empire.
Angetreten. Ausrücken.
You just come to there, you come to there.
Angetreten. Bereit zum Ausrücken. Ausrücken. Zuhören. Ausrücken. 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 Ausrücken.
Okay, I think you need end up part at war with France. You should surprise attack through Belgium. Right. Infrastructure effort, very good. We can look at decisions here. Okay. Nothing we really want to do now. We're going to do this civilian factory there. We can do something with our government and laws. Does it mean anything that they're grayed out, or are they just gray pictures? Probably just gray pictures, but I'm not sure. Maybe the game to go 40 with divisions. Okay, well, we can see that in a moment. Political power gain. Metternich. Right, okay, we'll do a silent workhorse. Get the political power going up. Faster. Gray pictures. Yeah. Let's look at our... Okay, 30 combat width. Right, okay, we're gonna probably wait a little bit here. But I'm not saying you're wrong, I'm just going, we need more stuff. It looks like, at least more artillery. So I think I will wait on that. Okay, well, let's...
Zuhören. Ihre Befehle.
Now, of course, this is moving the troops to the borders,
Bereit zum Ausrücken.
sort of was thought of the idea that we are starting the war. And yes, it's a little different that we have...
Ihre Befehle.
We're on this side of the Rhine River down here.
Ausrücken.
Is it just me, or is there some particular reason why they didn't do the historical orders of battle at the time? Meaning the proper size of the rather large German army? Because we're not coming from a defeated Germany, and I'm not even so much talking about, say, like the units that were,
Bereit zum Ausrücken.
you know, reserve landwehr units or something that weren't meant to
Befehle.
be ready to go on day one. But okay, pause. Ottoman Empire took 2 states. Capitulated aerial reconnaissance, very nice. Now we're in June. Yeah, I guess we will do that. Okay, wish this would pop up and pause. Military police. So it would take a year right now if I started that. These are the later ones, okay. Well, I guess we have that. That isn't much of a difference. I'm for 50% bonus. I'm gonna wait a little bit before I start something else. Might be best for after you don't invade Belgium. Also, having played World War I a lot, this mod, because it is better World War I than the old World War I. You will probably need to bail out the Ottomans and protect your ports. You have a navy, but it's still going to be outnumbered by the British. Okay, good. Okay, I guess I'm just wondering why not to invade Belgium. What? No, Black Ice. We had hello. log in. We had technical difficulties with black ice, so I needed to change things here. Let's start another artillery because I want to be able to go with smaller increments. So no, this is Endsieg. Well, right. Okay. Some of the stuff I played, no matter what you do, Britain comes into the game. If I don't go into Belgium, would that mean Britain not coming into the game? I'm just wondering, is there the field to attack? So you're just the main focus for you is more a narrow front. Porfirio Diaz hailed victor in Mexico. A little unsure, but they aren't part of the Entente yet, and it would be so the smaller front would be better. Okay, well.
Zuhören. Ausrücken. Ausrücken.
Let's look at our cavalry division. Support idea might be a good idea. Yeah, we'll do that. Let's start training up. I don't want to edit, I want to train. Why did I click the wrong place? Everything Schlieffen was full of shit. Okay. Automatic feed tabulator. Very good. That will help with the research. And ooh, that's wait. Oh, pause. I guess we might as well start with getting that going. Well, that research, I guess. It's different than this game in real life. Okay. Well, yeah. South Africa gains independence. Okay, construction effort. Very nice. Okay, so that. Okay, well, I guess on Aries' advice,
Ausrücken!
We'll form up units here soon. Okay. I don't know how I've been able to successfully do Schlieffen plan. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, Ares played this. I don't know beyond sort of what he's talking about. Montenegrin independence, nice. Okay, let's come down here with you. I'm leaving a small screen up along Belgium up there just in case somebody does something stupid. I don't know. Okay, we're stockpiling a fair amount of stuff. Now, let's see if we were to come over here and try more artillery to there. Okay, we have 1/3 of what is needed, but we need to increase, well, or move. Fort Mortar Brigade, Mortar Brigade. Okay. They will likely do a mass attack every day. They will grind your front harder than the Soviets did. Okay, well, we'll see how this goes. We'll just blame Area if everything goes wrong. What decisions do they think I should be doing? Well, just these. Yeah, nah. Okay, well, let's create a front here. Let's see what generals we have. Okay. Oh, well, one thing I have not been paying attention to, I just saw with Warbeck, we have the whole Africa thing down here. Wow, yes, okay. Forgot all about that. I'm so used to just playing Germany up here. Okay, Iberia. I mean, I don't know a lot of these names, quite honestly. Okay, I know, but he's a field marshal, so he's gonna be in charge. Okay, Hindenburg, another field marshal, yes. Ludendorff, who I don't know was a field marshal this early. Okay, let's see. I guess he's getting this front for that division. Let's put German Asia. Yes, I was even forgetting that. Not like we're going to hold out very long out here. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, that ain't going to hold long. There was a bit of a guerrilla war campaign fought here for a while, but I don't think it lasted very long. Togoland.
Bereit zum Ausrücken.
Okay, so he's got a sort of we're going to give all of
Bereit.
these units over here.
Bereit zum
They should have a
Ausrücken.
camel corps to Vorbeck. Yes, he is a classic. And
Bereit zum Ausrücken. Angetreten.
we're going to give him the cavalry command.
Befehle.
And that will allow us to have Hindenburg out here in the east.
Bereit. Angetreten. Befehle. Bereit zum Ausrücken.
There we go.
Achtung.
Now, well, let's
Ausrücken.
move one of you over that way. I'm hoping to do sort of a blitz down towards Austria down there. We have a little bit of reserve back here. Don't know what good that's going to be.
Achtung.
Let's throw this under a different general. I'll put him over here.
Bereit.
Okay, dockyard construction, very good. Taking a Lusitania. Create an Air Force. Army effort. I don't want to just focus on war. Leaf and rubric. Okay, that's after 1913 for that. Befriend Turkey. Fly the Dervish state. Don't know. Okay, well, let's do diplomatic effort. Get us a bunch of political power. 2 more naval factories, so we'll get them producing submarines. Death of Rama V, King Chula Longhorn of Siam, also known as Rama V, passed away. Okay.
Bereit.
Now, what we... okay, let's look at this ersatz division. Okay, that's basically a stupid occupation unit. Fine. Okay, that is a very small Jaeger division. Submarines. Well, let's train one of these. And let's see about how much. Oh, we don't have a lot. Well, this isn't taking a lot, so fortunately. That's the biggest impact there. Oh, we don't have any of these. Okay. Okay, that's better. And let's train up one of these. Okay, the Marine Division, they may be presumably heading out via the Mountain Division. Well, we'll stick them down here in the traditional spot. We may send those guys overseas too. Okay, air dual doctrine, very nice. Okay, we're now in November 1910. Strategic bombing versus counter-air. Yeah, I think we will do that, even though we don't yet have an air force. No, we should be building more. Military factories now. Material designer, artillery, modern. So, this was the time of the Metternich Peace. Yes, Europe wasn't entirely peaceful. There was the there were some wars. This is going to be a brief lecture here. The Metternich Peace, as I'm calling it, is set up during the Concert of Europe. You see, they got all of these different musicians from all over Europe to go to a big concert. No, not at all. The Concert of Europe was a negotiation settlement conference, I guess you would call it. It was set up after Napoleon was defeated and sent off to the Isle of Elba. And they all decided to meet in Vienna to sort of figure out what the hell's going on. because you had Napoleon running around doing all kinds of stuff, reshaping Europe, and then you go, oh, well, Napoleon's like, exiled to Elba. And so is there going to be a Poland or not, kind of thing, There was no Poland, and then Napoleon decided, yeah, there's going to be a Poland. And then, well, now that Napoleon's gone, is there still going to be a Poland? And is Illyria along this coastline? Is this going to be French territory over here that Napoleon, I guess, thought it was cool and decided to have part, literally part of France, or not? Kind of thing, what's it gonna be? What's gonna be the Europe gonna look like? What do we do with this bit of territory over here? Because it sure the hell ain't Belgium yet, because it had been the Spanish Netherlands, and then when Spain goes Bourbon, well, because France sort of wins the war, but the War of Spanish Succession, wins the war, but promises, nope, we won't add it to France. I think this is during Maria Theresa's time, I think. Yeah, we won't add it to France because they didn't want a queen of Spain, to be the ruler. I'm getting probably some of this a little bit wrong, and I'm jumping back in history, but they didn't want, the Spaniards really didn't want Maria Theresa to be their queen, to be the actual ruler. So there was, the War of Spanish Succession. So this changed from being the Spanish Netherlands. They'd already lost the Protestant Netherlands up there where Arno lives, to then becoming the Habsburg, or sometimes Austrian Netherlands over here, and was such until, yes, the French Revolution moves in before Napoleon is in power, when he's alive, of course. And did they annex somewhere all of it? I know they set up the Batavian Republic for when they move up and take over the Netherlands, the Protestant Netherlands, and of course the Prince of Orange flees. He was an idiot. I think that's the correct term, an idiot. And I mean somebody literally sort of like an idiot. Not a person with Down syndrome, as sometimes I'm talking like a real sort of idiot. But maybe that's just British propaganda about that particular Prince of Orange. So, they set up the Batavian Republic there, and, so the French, I think, directly take over Belgium, or what is today Belgium. But what's that going to be now that Napoleon is gone? Is that going to be France? Or is that going to be split between the Netherlands, and have reunite Protestant and Catholic Netherlands and the Flemish-speaking parts of Belgium, and give the French-speaking, the Wallonians, to France? What are you going to do with that? Well, the Flemish really didn't want to be ruled by the other Flemish to the north that were Protestant. And of course, England goes, well, hey, we need balancing effects here. We need balancing of power effects. So to some degree, as a friend of mine used to point out, that Belgium was just a creation of England, and it sort of was. I think he was overstating it, but yeah, that, so Belgium is created during this time period, and the Holy Roman Empire is, it's, there's like the Confederation of the Rhine and various states and stuff set up during the Napoleonic era. So this concert of Europe, sort of run by Metternich in Vienna, sort of sets up the European boundaries, borders, whatnot, for the 19th century, and it holds fast mostly through the 19th century. Like I say, there are wars. This isn't a pure golden age of peace, but it is a rather peaceful era of almost 100 years for Europe. Figure, okay, and during the Concert of Europe is going on, they're playing their music in Vienna. Napoleon shows back up from Elba and does the 100 Days. Back again for Napoleon Boogaloo #2, and of course that ends in Waterloo, and he surrenders to the English and gets carted off to St. Helena. Just for you don't know, St. Helena, I think, is this. Oh, that's a session. You can hardly tell the difference. There's St. Helena down there. Gets carted off down there and spends the rest of his life until he probably dies of arsenic poisoning, but that's another thing. Belgium belongs to the Dutch. Well, yes, wink, wink, yes. I don't know how long Belgium will stay as a country with its importing of a bunch of people from other parts of the world, though also the Dutch have been doing that too. I don't know what's going to happen with that, and so I don't know. But so you have mostly peaceful period. You have a very brief minimum sort of war, sort of over this little bit of territory here, that basically that pushes officially and fully out the Habsburgs out of German states here. Basically the Habsburgs, any sort of claim to these German states goes away. This is all being done under Bismarck. And then, of course, Bismarck gets, and I should look these things up before I start this kind of talk, but we're sort of bored with just playing peacetime here, so I wanted to talk about how this world gets set up. So it gets going with the Franco-Prussian War. Notice Franco, French, Prussia. And after the defeat and capturing of Paris, the German Empire is proclaimed at Versailles in the Hall of Mirrors, that there's a German Empire now that because there hadn't been, you had gotten as the settlement to the Austro-Prussian War, that the Habsburg Kaiser is no longer involved with German affairs. So now we have a German Kaiser, because we didn't have one before. We just had the King of Prussia. So those are those wars. The sort of long dragged out siege is the big war there. Another war that's going on is Garibaldi's series of wars that are basically are doing two things. They're uniting the Italian principalities and driving the Austrians, or the Habsburgs, I should say, out of Italy, all the Italian territories. And to the best of my knowledge, the territory as this shows here, and definitely up here, these are primarily German-speaking areas. Trieste, and this city probably is primarily German-speaking, but you get a lot of various other languages, including Italian, being spoken in this region here. So Garibaldi is unifying and driving out the Austrians. And for the most part, the wars are contained to just Italy during this time period. So it's not the old kind of, because, down here was a Bourbon kingdom that whenever it sort of got into war, either the French or the Spanish Bourbons monarchy would get involved. It was mainly keeping that out. Then, of course, just around this time period, going back to during just post the Napoleonic Wars, you have the Greek Liberation Wars and various other wars to push back the Ottoman Empire from controlling here. And so these are sort of contained local Balkan wars. But otherwise, for the most part. I mean, you do have the, in 1850s, you have the Crimean War, but that is a war between Russia and the Ottoman Empire. That, yes, the French and the British intervene down here, but it doesn't become a general war. So you do have these sort of sideshows of wars going on, but largely compared to, and you may have, but Gamer, you've period of peace, and you just mentioned a bunch of wars. Yeah, but you've got to realize prior to that, and sort of the big thing here is about every 10 to 20 years, you would have a major war in Europe that would, Britain would generally be on one side and France would generally be on the other side. The Prussians and the Austrians would generally be on opposite sides from each other. And so there was this sort of, literally every 10 or 20 years, because you have the 7 Years' War. Oh, well, okay, the 18th century. You have the wars going on in the 1740s, early 1740s, with the Battle of Fontenoy. I'm forgetting what that war was called. That happens then. That's a general war in Europe. Then you have the 7 Years' War in the 1750s. That is going on everywhere. The 7 Years' War is sort of thought to be the first war that really has global action, because there are battles happening out in India and further afield a bit out there, just minor things relatively speaking, but locally significant. So that's a 7 Years' War for 7 years, a war for 7 years in the 1750s. And then, because that's sort of somewhat exhausting, you got to wait till, what is it, 1778 or whatever, when the French get into the War of American Independence, that the Netherlands, France, and Spain are at war with Britain. And that war continues on well after Britain has recognized the independence of America. So they fight over the war, the independence of America, but they like the war so much they just keep fighting it. Even though the Americans like, hey, we're out, we're done, we got our independence. You guys are still fighting. Well, okay, go ahead, you can fight, but we're out, we're done, we're independent, we're fine, we're cool. And so and which gets the Great Siege of Gibraltar is during that period, is sort of the ultimate siege of Gibraltar, in which it was a Franco-Spanish army really trying to get Gibraltar, and that was a hell of a siege. And of course, Gibraltar holds out. Not a major land war in Europe, just because for that war, Britain doesn't have continental allies, often normally the Prussians, but doesn't have continental allies. And but there are a lot of battles fought out here for colonial possessions. These islands change hands a few times, major sea battles. And so you have that war, and that basically bankrupts France. And so France is doing incredibly badly. Can you conquer Peru? Hello, CC Pop. Well, we don't have the ability right now. We're Germany during 1910, so we'll get to conquering Peru sometime. Don't worry, but not this day, not today. Don't know why you particularly want Peru conquered, but someday we'll do it. Maybe I'll play another game. And so, how do we get on the subject again? I was busy doing things. Discord. we were talking about the peace of Europe, and so and then the French monarchy collapses in 1789, and you have the next outbreak of wars, the French Revolutionary and the Napoleonic War. So you have all these major wars going on in Europe. 19th century is basically peaceful. So right now we are in a peaceful era that is about ready to explode. That's how we got there. Why not conquer Peru or why not conquer Peru? Well, it's a long ways off for Germany right now. Navy experience. Well, I think we're going to create an Air Force. We have limited conscription, advanced training, censored press, massive. You have to invade Cuba. Why invade Cuba? Civilian economy. Albanian revolt of 1911. Good luck, Albanians. Okay, all these guys they now want 200 for instead of that. Okay, well, we got 200 coming, so we've got 200. Refinery. Before the Americans do it, Imperial German plans for the invasion of the United States. We're going to stay away from Zimmerman telegrams, I think, and similar sorts of stuff. Well, let's take a look here. Yeah, we'll get more once we go to that. I see we can have a lot of political advisors in this game, so I think we will do a captain of industry. And this now becomes, well, just 200 still. Okay. Principality has capitulated. Man, they're not doing very well. Montenegro has its independence, but yeah. Okay, the Maderista revolution begins. That is Pancho Villa there. In the picture. The center of that. If you don't recognize Pancho Villa. They're fighting the what was the other group? Madero. Well, that should be the Maderistas. Oh, well, they've already won. Okay. Or something. Diaz surrenders power. Oh, yeah. Porfirio Diaz. Okay, we've created an Air Force. Maybe a little ahead of schedule. Not quite sure when they did this, but it gives us a little air experience. We could use the army. Well, we have decent army experience right now. Yeah, let's do dockyard effort. We could use subs. Weird things happen. I know I've said that, but it doesn't. But it does happen. Okay. I would train your men. Okay, if they haven't already been training. Yes, that's right. I normally don't train my units so much. Whatever.
Angetreten.
Well, let's put him under East Strike Command, and he can start training up his forces.
Ihre Befehle.
And Vorbeck can train up his forces. We're getting a lot of cavalry divisions here, mostly because we don't have a lot of artillery. Let's look at artillery needs. Okay, well, let's train up four infantry divisions. We'll start them out over here. What would you say was the best plan Germany could have had to done in World War I? Well, the Schlieffen plan wasn't bad. Unfortunately, they weakened the right, which Schlieffen, on his dying bed or whatever, was don't weaken the right. And what do? Oh, they weaken the right. So, okay, I think that may be enough cavalry divisions here. So we're going to, well, we'll go to just one more set. Okay. Okay, yes, Principality has capitulated. I don't know if how do I put this? This is I guess we'll start that. Mass charge, okay. New guns are important. Well, right now we are up to date on weapons here. You're talking artillery, we're already researching that. Yeah, we're doing the artillery. And infantry guns are fairly well up to date. You always, and I always have to, everyone needs to always remember, warfare is a political act. So, okay, these guys are trained. Everybody trained. Yes, everybody's trained. So, stop training. Stop training. Stop training. Stop training. Okay, so we're trained. And so guns and battle matter, but Italo-Turkish war begins. Okay, they're going after primarily Libya. German military mission to Turkey. Very good. So that you can have it's not just like how many troops you have, how many tanks you have, how many aircraft you have. You can have political collapses, like I would say one happened in France in 1940. So there's always, there's possibilities for the Confederacy to win in the American Civil War. But if it's a long, drawn-out strategic struggle, the Confederacy will always lose in the Civil War. It's just there's a few brief opportunities they had to win, and that would have changed things. But either for the Confederacy, either in the very earliest days, just after First Manassas, or Lincoln losing the election, and whatever battle or battles that had the Union Army lost at that time, that probably would have had Lincoln losing the election. We don't know that he would have lost the election had the battles gone the other way, but there's good reason to suppose they would. So if Lincoln loses, the Confederacy can win. But if Lincoln can stay in office and push the war, the North is always going to win. So we have the situation with Russia and the Bolshevik Revolution. Could we have had a revolution in France? Well, you did have a massive revolt by the French troops that refused for a few months to attack. Because they just thought their lives were being wasted, and I don't have the details on that. But you could have the collapse of France in World War I. So there's a lot of new machine guns matter. Hello, Spiraling and OCB. After World War II, a group of Allied leaders did a simulation. They concluded that if the right wing was kept at its original strength, the chance of the Germans succeeding increased from, but not certain. Don't know much about that, and I don't know the right wing was kept original strength. How you're talking with World War II? I'm not understanding that, OCB. More explanation if you want me to understand. You can get hand grenades. That's a good idea. So next research time we will do so. Yeah, I'm going to produce a few more of these civilian factories, I think. Yeah, they're not as fast to build in slower area, but a little bit more secure, maybe. Yes, absolutely, OCB. That's what I was saying. The Schlieffen plan itself was not a bad plan. The biggest problem with the Schlieffen plan, yes, and I do very much agree about not the weaker version that they did. Keep the right strong and keep it focused and not put too many forces in the east would have been better. The other big problem with the Schlieffen plan is because the Belgians resist, it slows it up, but even more important, not just because they resist, because of damage to the railway system that I understand happened, as well as not as effectively being able to use railway from Germany into Belgium around, that slowed up the supply system for it, was a real thing for slowing the Schlieffen plan up. Schlieffen plan does depend upon speed of action. These are just easier to research now. Okay, let's look here. We do have, okay, yeah, grenades, well, it's still a lot early for that, but we can probably, yeah, that's just way ahead. Machine guns, we'll get to these machine guns. Yeah, we'll do this. So like I say, warfare is a political action. And if you get to the point that you are really pushing into Paris, you probably have France politically collapsing, even if not militarily collapsing. I don't know a lot about the app. I mean, I know what's going on. I know the Armenians had sort of been in the stronger position. The Armenians have been building up petrodollars and getting other supports. They built up their armaments. I don't think the Armenians had been building it up, but they had been refusing because they had been the victors over the negotiations. And quite honestly, I don't know how it's. I know it's being fought now. I know it was some of the early Azerbaijan attacks were effective. My understanding. Yeah, I don't know. I really, quite honestly, with sort of all that's been going on, have not been following it like I normally might for a nice new little war like that. Okay, von Mackensen has a bunch of divisions getting ready to do sort of a pincer movement down towards Austria from here. May not be strong enough, but there are divisions. Now, no, we can upgrade our artillery, that's right, yes. And this artillery, yes, I know it's going to push way back, but we might as well get it up going now, even though we do need just more numbers. Well, I don't know. How many of you guys know mercenaries? And I don't just mean, I mean, a lot of modern day contractors you could probably call mercenaries, but they're not the same thing. Because a lot of contractors are heavily armed security personnel, meaning they're operating. Let's just. When the U.S. was heavily, I mean, we still have the green zone, but that's about it. I think in Baghdad or well, it's in Baghdad, but in Iraq today. But when the U.S. was, say, occupying most of Iraq, most of the contractors were just like security guards. Now, they were combat zone security guards, and they were real soldiers, but they're just sort of like had to protect a convoy. What happens when you're like a mercenary coming to a little country like this? What side are you on? Is it going to collapse? Is it competent? So where the old mercenary type things, bit different. And I have known some of the classic mercenaries. And I'm not going to start mentioning names now, but I have known some of them. Talk to them about it. And things can go to hell very fast. So I don't know, meaning you or your little crew may be doing great, but the rest of the world collapsing around you. So I don't know. It's not quite maybe what you're thinking, perfect little war for a merc. I don't think we're going to try to do strategic bombing. I think we'll do the fighters, aviation, air doctrine. We're doing that pretty good. Dockyard construction, speed, armament. Let's look over army effort here. Political power. What does this do? I want to see what this does. So let's let's do this. More artillery.
Bereit.
We'll give them to Vorbeck. And we're going to reinforce our Qingdao garrison. Come on. Don't you know how to get over there? Oh, we need to move you from here to there, maybe? Let's see if this will get you there. And yeah, there we go. Okay. There we go. And we also put these Marines under Vorbeck. Yeah, civil wars. Well, if you consider that a civil war, I don't know. I see that more as a war of a war of Russian aggression using proxies. Yes, some of the people are people that were living in the Ukraine, probably born in the Ukraine, but were Russian in other aspects. As opposed to a general Ukrainian civil war, not necessarily specifically like North and South, East and West Ukraine, but just could be right versus left Ukrainians having a war out, which there was a sort of brief sort of revolution, and that does get nasty to get in. Okay, we have a lot of command power, so let's look and see what we can do with this.
Zuhören.
Let's
Befehle.
see what we can do here.
Zuhören.
Jungle rat, very nice. Commando skirmisher paratroop. Definitely not paratrooper. Yeah, we'll do that. Battleship Liberté explodes. Friendship Liberté, a pre-dreadnought battleship, has suffered an accidental explosion today, September 11, 1911. One of her forward ammunition magazines. Okay. Okay, well, we now have a fair amount of artillery. Let's see about adding. There we go. Additional we'll need to fulfill. Okay. Now that's a 36 division. Bicycle battalion. Well, we're not building bikes, though we could, of course. Well, what's a Strasstruppen division? Okay, well, there's a 30 combat with very little artillery. Okay, well, that's in a Schutzen. This is the Colonial division, yes. Let's train up one of these here. Let's train up 3 of these and put them over here. Operation. Yes, it is. What I think we're going to do is, let's look at this here briefly. Yeah, I think we're going to send you out to Vorbeck in Africa. Republic of China declared war on the Great Queen. So the Chinese Civil War has basically begun. Wuhan. Hey, I don't know if any of you guys heard of something like in Wuhan. Heard about Wuhan recently? Okay, so we're 1911. We have both of these 500, 440, 440. That's an awful lot of time in advance. 1,000 days. That'll take a year, but I guess so. Compared to some of the others. Well, good to hear, OCB, that it was negative. Sorry that you had a fever, but good to hear it was just some more normal reason for fever, I guess. Hopefully nothing serious, but yeah. Now the question is well, I don't know how, with everyone social distancing, how are you getting the regular flu? You know, that's a serious question too, you know. Oh, maybe we just pushed hard on one of these techs, I guess, now. Even though it's well in advance. Well, very good. Barry gets to go to school, so he won't be completely ignorant. just the normal American ignorant, not completely. I know that we need tank designers. Okay, aircraft. Fokker, heavy fighter. Is there any difference between these two? Albatross and Fokker? This one, yeah, strategic bombing. Yeah. Railway guns. I don't know that railway guns are in this. Not that I know of. I could have missed something. I'm new to this. I don't think railway guns are here. Oh, here. Oh, here. Okay, yes. But that's 1918 and way too advanced there. That's why Arno is suggesting it. Okay. This. Okay, colonial defense in East Africa. We built several defensive structures across Germany, East Africa. In the event of war, our colonies should be properly defended. Okay. The Agadir or Agadir crisis. Don't know anything about that. Is bypass. We can't do that until later, of course. Colonial defense. Southwest Africa, colonial defense. Cameroon. Let's come back over here. Okay, so now we can defend better in some places over here. No, I didn't want to click the unit. I wanted to click the province. Okay, so they're trench levels in some of these places. So basically here, no, I didn't. I never. I guess somehow this thinks I'm clicking the giant stupid man there. So you're going to get some reinforcements of some mountain troops. Tanganyika does have some quite big mountains, and just north up here is Kilimanjaro is more in Kenya, I think, here, but yeah. It does actually have snow. I think the only place that has snow in Africa routinely. French Republic has sent substantial forces to the interior of Morocco today. However, Germany, whilst not objecting to France's expansion, has called for territorial compensation for Germany, threatening war and settling the gunboat over. This has stirred up many angry German nationalists. Okay, nothing too serious. That I think is over what is going on here. There was a bit of a thing.
Bereit zum Ausrücken.
Tibet declared war on the Great Queen. Okay. Vision training time reduced. Fleet, okay, naval experience. Like administrative genius, he seems very good. So much more. Okay, let's do administrative genius. He will help with factory construction speed here. I think we are building. Let's take a quick look. Yeah, a few more civilian factories here. Let's add a few more. No, civilian. No. Sweden's too great of a place to want to invade. We just want to admire it. The perfection of Nordic society is Sweden. You know, really, Toyjet, he's doing well. Now, Sweden's doing. Sweden, of course, is been committing suicide. So, I don't know why you're that worried about Sweden in comparison. Yeah, I know, and we're sort of teasing. Yeah, I know. Sweden has been importing all kinds of lunatics and nut jobs and whatnot. Okay, we're building up our artillery. Okay, we got hand grenades. Stop. Tibet has capitulated. Man, that was a short-lived war. Wow. Okay. Yeah, let's do this. Why do they pop big like that? Notice they're wearing stall helms on the horses. They're not in World War II uniforms. Okay, let's.
Achtung! Bereit zum Ausrücken! Ausrücken!
Oh, do we need to produce those now? Probably. Nope, they're just regular infantry equipment. We have that. Okay. Let's research rank warfare. Okay, we're gonna, not the live stream, but we're gonna end the episode here. I want to thank you all for watching. Thanks for liking the videos. Hopefully this will be an interesting look at Endsieg. We'll see how far we get in it. No promises at this point that it's like going to be complete or anything, but we're just looking to see how this mod is functioning and looking. See you next time for more Hearts of Iron.